Hello, in this video I will be discussing who is Purejoy as a character. So Purejoy is one of the concubines who join Morlight in the Dead Emperor's tomb to go with him into the afterlife to serve their emperor and carry on their duties. So she is, or how I interpreted her, was quite a young character because of how she is written by Bryony Lavery in the play. All her emotions are very external, in that saying she doesn't or can't quite keep them to herself, which compared to a character such as Many Treasures, her emotion and her thought processes are very internalized, and that is very much works in Many Treasures' favour because she therefore comes across as very strong and powerful character within the concubine group, and then they basically all turn to Many Treasures as more of a leader when Morlight is on the outer layers of the tomb. So her emotions are very much external, and therefore I felt at the time when I was rehearsing that she was a younger character, so I'd say she's was probably in her late teens, early 20s. She is also she goes on a bit of a journey from the beginning. They all do, all the ladies, all the characters do, from when they first enter the tomb to the end of their journey in the tomb. However, that being said, she definitely, like they all were, was someone before they entered the tomb. And obviously her name is Purejoy, so based on how the concubines are named, therefore she brought joy to the emperor. In what ways, I would assume could be a variety of ways, some a little bit more explicit than others, considering the other kind of the research based on concubines. However, that being said, she as a character is very, at the start of the play, she's very open, she's very optimistic, and she's absolutely fascinated by art. That's one of her biggest things, is that there's a monologue towards the beginning of the play where she describes what she sees on the middle walls, and we will touch on that later during the rehearsal process, but through that you can see that she is just completely in awe of everything to do with art, or anything to do with art. And I think based on how she's now trapped in this tomb with everyone else, I think at that point at the beginning, at first I read that as, oh, that's just part of her character, but I think at the beginning of the play I feel that was also her escapism in not actually wanting to deal with the situation they were in, which was the fact that they were in a tomb. And because it was early on, she was able to be optimistic and find kind of her, looking for other things to take her mind off of the fact that she was trapped in a tomb for life. So then later on in the play, these thoughts and these emotions obviously then come spilling out, because she goes from being optimistic to very, very realistic and quite pessimistic in a way, because she knows that they're trapped in a tomb. I think they all do. They all know they're trapped in a tomb. Only she decides to kind of deal with it in a way that is quite self-destructive. In all honesty, it's sort of, she's very much she's in the tomb and she knows she can't escape. There's no way of them getting out, and but then saying that, there probably could have been a way of them escaping, but in her mind, because she was just so freaking out about the fact that she was in this tomb and is stuck in this tomb, she therefore tries to look for ways to escape in other means, i.e. Obviously focusing on art, but then obviously later on that sort of switches to she tries to sacrifice herself for, I'm going to say this in a weird way, but for the benefit of the concubines, because she sacrifices herself as food. The line is, "I am meat," and I think that's quite a powerful line, because she feels like she's lost everything, and there's just no point in going forward anymore, because she's going to die in the tomb, so she might as well speed up the process a bit. But then that being said, I think that "I am meat" is a reflection on how she's felt, probably outside of the tomb, but also inside of the tomb. Is obviously she came in thinking this is her new life and she's got the control of it, where in actual fact she's still treated as a piece of meat, or feels like she is a piece of meat. So that's like a little bit of subtext under how she feels towards the middle ending of the play. That being said, then she, through that "I am meat" and the sacrificing scene, Many Treasures then sort of brings her out of that, and is very much like unites her with her little concubine group of people, because they're all in there as one, as together, and they've all obviously grown up together and supported each other for so long. So she brings Purejoy out of that headspace, and because Many Treasures is like, "No, we're not going to eat you, like, it's fine." And then obviously you can see there's that Purejoy is just getting like deeper and deeper and deeper into a little whirlpool of very negative emotions. And so then when Many Treasures pulls her out of it, towards the end of the play, I think she's almost, she therefore, because Many Treasures saved her in a way, she did, Purejoy then goes on to basically worship what Many Treasures wants and does. That is only really seen towards the end, because Many Treasures throughout the play, you can see it is very much, she's in control, really. She's got all of the kind of, she cooks, she's the one who kind of kickstarts the, well, let's actually try and survive it in here. We're not going to sit here or sit around all day. Obviously Morlight is very much the catalyst of that, and she kind of goes, don't want to be, don't want to die here, let's eat the emperor. But then with that Many Treasures kind of hops on and goes, right, from what I've read and from during the rehearsals, Many Treasures like, I'm sick and tired of Morlight like giving all the green lights and saying yes and no. I want to have some sort of control, and in this new world, in this tomb, I can do that. So therefore, with that, I think towards the end, Purejoy very much worships what Many Treasures does and has done for her in the past. So when Purejoy then goes to so she's obviously she wants Purejoy as well. This is a slight little side note. Purejoy, I think, is a very lost character, because she doesn't think she has a purpose, or she's had no purpose for so long, for all her life basically. Her purpose has been to serve the emperor, but as in her own purpose for herself, she doesn't know what that is. So therefore, when it comes to the end and Morlight has to sacrifice the convict, Purejoy kind of hops on that, and is sort of just like, haha, like, this is another way I can make something, I can do something, I can have an impact. And obviously we'll touch on that again during the rehearsal process video. And she basically tries to persuade Morlight that she's gonna do the killing of the convict, so she has some sort of purpose, because I think she's, pun intended, she's hungry for some sort of purpose, to feel something, and she sees that as like a golden opportunity to do so, and to kind of make her point, because one of the lines within that scene is Morlight says, you bring joy, you are justly named, and then Pure Joy replies with, it has no wares, it does not survive. So she is lost, she's a very lost character, and that is what we will discover more of during the rehearsal video.